This is Face the Nation, broadcasting live from the CNN IBN headquarters in New Delhi with Sagarika Ghosh.
Muslim women can't work without the veil and their earnings are haram, thus illegal for her family to accept. That's a recent fatwa from the Deoband Darul Uloom, the head seminary of Sunni Islam in the subcontinent. Here's a report from Maria Shakil.
Yet another fatwa issued by Darul Uloom in Deoband, this time against working Muslim women, particularly those who work in close proximity with men and without a veil. It's illegal or haram for the family to accept the earnings of a working Muslim woman. It's a decree which has upset large sections of the Muslim community.
There's no end to these kind of fatwas. I mean, today they're saying don't, meet men. How is it possible if a woman wants to become a doctor? There are medical colleges and she has to sit with the, students, with boy students.
24-year-old Shazia works at a publishing house in Delhi. A student of Islamic studies at the Jamia Millia Islamia, she takes the names of wives of Prophet Muhammad who were working.
Who is anybody to say that women are not supposed to work? You have examples in the wives of the Prophet, such as Khadija, who used to run a business, Aisha, and Salma, etc.
Muslim scholars say that Sharia does not prohibit women from working, but they should do it with dignity. And to say that the earnings of a woman is illegal for the family is not correct, and an open-ended fatwa such as this, meaningless.
Islam wants that the Muslim women should financially independent. They should not depend on the husband at all. Islam very clearly says that whatever savings a Muslim woman is making, she is not supposed to spend it on the common pool of the family.
Fatwas do not have any legal binding. It's an opinion sought by an individual on a case from a mufti or a scholar. A needless controversy in the present times when Indian Muslims are anyways trying hard to assert themselves. In New Delhi, Maria Shakil.
Joining us, Athar Hussain, spokesperson of the Darul Ifta Firangi Mahal, who's joining us from Lucknow. Kamal Farooqi is going to be joining us. He's a member of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board. We're joined by Shazia Ilmi, senior journalist, and we're also hoping to be joined by Sadia Dehelvi, who's a Delhi-based media person and columnist. The question we are asking, are Muslim women victims of identity politics? Is it always the woman who is on the collision course with Orthodox religion? What are you telling us there at the beginning of the show? 84% are saying yes. Let's get into Crossfire. Athar Hussain, what kind of a fatwa is this? All over India, women are making tremendous progress. We have a woman president. Women are role models of professionalism. How can you have a fatwa saying Muslim women cannot work?
Ma'am, as your story has already mentioned, it's a needless controversy. So I just emphasize on that because this is a basic tenet of Islam is, as a woman, one should follow, if she is following as far as the religious practice is concerned, she should be in hijab. And if she is a working woman, and if she follows that practice of hijab, it is most welcome. This is my submission.
But if she has to have the hijab, if she has to be veiled, that might seriously impede her employability. People may not want to employ her if she has to wear burqa.
I understand. There are so many professions, ma'am. In India especially, most of the non-Muslim go for a female gynecologist. Why? Why they prefer a female gynecologist only? Because they feel comfortable in going to that gynecologist for their problem. So similarly, if a Muslim woman in her profession acts with her on a hijab as her practice, so what's the problem?
So are you saying that a Muslim woman can never be a fighter pilot? A Muslim woman can never be a lawyer? A Muslim woman can never be a company executive because she only has to be in that Zanana Dabba of female professions? Only there is acceptable?
It's a long debate. One has to go into all the forms of hijab because when you go into the intricacies of hijab, you will find that it's hijab as a practice not only limited to Muslim women. It has also significance for the male also. because as a male one cannot go in tight shirts and tight trousers. It's forbidden. Nobody mentions that aspect also. As it is forbidden, a dress code is for the Muslim women. Similarly, there is a dress code for the male, and I can debate it to any Muslim scholar for that.
Do you want to react to that?
We never hear about the dress code for men. And why should women be the sole repository of religion, religious identity, religiosity? I mean, it's almost as if Darul Uloom is looking for ways and means, and not just Darul Uloom. Every version and every interpretation of Quran concerning women is the most narrow and most skewed version when it comes to women.
And yet Quran is that egalitarian and noble document that gives the woman such equal rights, at least
Look
in
at
marriage.
the Prophet's wife,
to make
Hazrat
such
Khadija,
a
who was the first
religion into anti-woman.
Who was the first woman? She was actually a businesswoman.
You know, I'd really like to say that fatwas like these are really unwarranted because they do send the wrong message about Islam and also the wrong message to Muslim women. We have a great tradition of, women scholars, and Hazrat Khadija, the Prophet's wife, the first wife, she was not only an emotional strength, but she was also a trader.
What about the burqa,
and he was working for her. He was an employee, and he also, so she was the first financier of Islam. And so you have a series of various role models of empowerment, economic and financial and other forms,
Kamal Farooqi, what about the burqa though? As they're saying, could the position be that, okay, you're allowed to work, but you have to wear, you have to be veiled?
All these instances which my sister Shazia is saying, fortunately, if you go into the whole thing, we see that all these women which she has mentioned, she was in burqas always.
Always in burqa?
Always. They are not allowed. You say, what they are not allowed? Why they are not allowed? Please understand, because you people have to understand that Islam gives the utmost respect to the women folk, and they want to protect them. They want that they should not be exposed to the outside world in such a fashion that their dignity is affected. The other communities may not understand it. May not accept it.
I really don't want to. I don't think this should really turn into a debate on the veil, because they've been. I mean, there is clearly the veil is preferred in Islam, and the hijab, the headscarf, and there are various interpretations. But I think what we should really focus on is these fatwas, which are